Hello and welcome to Complete Blender 4.1 Compendium. If this happens to be the first time you're using Blender, the interface may look intimidating at first glance, not knowing where, how and how to go about using it. But soon that will become a thing of the past as we kickstart the learning process with this very first video. With Blender opened, the first screen or window you will see is called the splash screen, and this is positioned at the middle of the interface. First, we have a handful of Blender workspaces on this window, a list of recent projects you've worked on. At the top, we have the version of Blender that you're using, and at the time of recording this video, this is the latest version of Blender at the moment. But bear in mind that Blender updates their software frequently. At the bottom, we have the donate button, and since Blender is 100% free, it will be nice if you donate to the community. To get rid of the splash screen, simply click anywhere outside the splash screen window, and if you want to bring it back, at the top you will see the Blender button. Click on it and click on splash screen to bring it back. Now, to navigate the interface, click anywhere outside the splash screen window. By default, the workspace that is currently active is the layout workspace, and this is segmented into various panels that are referred to as editors. And the interesting thing is that they can be customized easily. The 3D viewport is an editor or panel that takes a large chunk of your screen, but by dragging your mouse cursor to the edge, you can easily reduce the size or increase it. This editor at the top is the outliner editor, and you can find the name if you hover your mouse cursor around here. Below it, we have the Properties editor, and since our emphasis is on the 3D viewport, let's go back to it. The first thing you will be curious at is how to select things within this environment or scene. To select any mesh or objects, at the top where you have the menu bar, select Edit, Preferences, and under the Input tab, ensure you have all these options selected. This is very important since we will be using our mouse always. So having selected all these options, save your preferences and close it. Now while in the scene, simply left click to select any object and left click on any empty space to deselect it. And to select all objects in a scene, press A to select all objects, or press B and drag to select all the objects in the scene, and press Alt A to deselect your selection. By default, any project we create using Blender comes with camera, cube, light, and these objects can be referred to as primitives. You can find all of them here in the Outliner Editor panel. Now to perform basic transformation, let's switch the tool from the selection tools to the move tool. With this, we can now move any mesh or object in the scene to any position or location along any axis in space. And if you want the object to return to its original location, press N or click on this arrow to display the transformation window. Change the location on all the axes to 0. Or simply press Shift S and click on Selection to Cursor. Next, we have the Rotate tool. Once you select this tool and click on any object in the scene, you can use this rotation gizmo to rotate along any axis. The Scale tool is used for resizing a selected object by simply dragging any of these axes and the scale cage is equally used for scaling, but the difference is that with this particular tool, I can resize an object along a particular region in that axis without affecting the other region. You can see that nothing happened to this side, and if you want to scale along both axes simultaneously, then use the scale tool instead of the scale cage. And if you want to resize along all the axes, press S and drag. And if you want to resize similar to the scale tool, press S and X and drag along the x-axis to resize, or press S and Y to resize along the y-axis. To rotate the view so that you can see the object along all the axes, move your mouse cursor and position it on this gizmo on the top right of the viewport. Drag to rotate the view. This will make you view the object on different angles. Clicking on X-axis indicator will switch the view to the right orthographic view. You can see the name of this current view on the top left corner of your viewport. And the moment you click on X again, this will alternate to the left orthographic view. You can see the name of this current view here. When you click on the y-axis, this will switch the view to the back orthographic view. And when you click on Y again, this will alternate to the front view. Click on Z, this will switch to the top orthographic view. And when you press Z again, this will switch to the bottom orthographic view. However, if you want a more flexible way of rotating the different orthographic view instead of using this gizmo, press 3 on the keyboard or numpad to switch to the right orthographic view, and Ctrl 3 to left orthographic view. Press 1 to switch to front orthographic view, Ctrl 1 to back orthographic view. Press 7 to switch to the orthographic view, and Ctrl 7 to switch to the bottom orthographic view. To rotate the view using hotkey, simply hold down Alt and drag to rotate the view, and this will pivot around a particular point, that being the origin of our grid. Press plus to zoom in on the viewport and minus on the keyboard or numpad to zoom out. Or you can simply place your mouse cursor on this magnifier glass icon and drag to zoom in and out the 3D viewport. Clicking the grid icon will switch your viewport between orthographic and perspective mode. But you may ask, what is the difference between these two different modes? Well, perspective mode is a realistic view of the 3D objects in your scene, which takes into account how far an object are from you, displaying how further or closer the objects are visually. However, orthographic mode ignores perspective view and makes objects appear flat with no perspective. But since our emphasis are on 3D objects and not 2D, we will be using perspective view throughout the duration of this course. The camera icon will bring you into the eyes of the camera. Now you can see what the camera is currently viewing. Camera is very essential as far as rendering is concerned, and for this camera icon to work, there has to be a camera in the scene. To try it out, simply zoom out and delete the camera in the scene. Now click on this camera icon. You can see that it is not working because the active camera has been deleted. And when you go to the render tab at the menu bar and click on render image, you can see an error message, no camera found in the scene. Press Ctrl Z to undo and bring back the camera we deleted earlier, then click on render image at the menu bar. The rendering worked because there is a camera currently in the scene. Close the render window and click the camera icon. This worked because we now have an active camera in the scene. Now to rotate the view while we are still in the camera view, toggle on this lock and this will enable view navigation within the camera view. Now let's hold down Alt key and drag your mouse to rotate it. Press plus to zoom in and minus to zoom out. This is all happening because we enable the camera lock. Note, if you are using older version of Blender, you won't see this lock option. Instead, press N to bring back your transform window and go under the view option and select the option camera to view. And if the lock is turned off and you try rotating around the view holding down Alt and dragging it, this will take you out of the camera view because the lock has been turned off. So remember to toggle it on to perform all your operations. The hotkey to toggle the camera view is 0. And whenever you are done adjusting the camera angle of any object in your scene, press 0 again to go back to the scene. And that's basically it for the basics of navigation, camera, grid icon, viewport, Blender splash screen, and introduction to the layout workspace. In the next video, I'll be talking about the Outliner editor, what they do and how to use it effectively. See you then.